After age 60, many people see diabetes as just a sugar problem. But here's the truth. Diabetes is not only about high blood sugar. It quietly damages the blood vessels, stiffens the arteries, and silently sets the stage for heart disease. According to the American Heart Association, adults with diabetes are 2 to 4 times more likely to die from heart disease than those without it. I'm a health researcher, and today we'll uncover how diabetes, especially in seniors, becomes a hidden trigger for heart problems, and what you can do right now to protect yourself or someone you love. If you've ever wondered why diabetes is called a silent killer, stay with me. This may change the way you see your health. Let's break it down. When sugar levels stay high, even just a little above normal, it injures the delicate inner lining of blood vessels. Doctors call this lining the endothelium. Think of it like wallpaper inside your arteries. Over time, the wallpaper begins to peel and crack. The National Institute on Aging explains that older adults with diabetes are more likely to develop high blood pressure and cholesterol, both of which multiply heart risks. Now imagine pouring syrup down an old pipe every day. That pipe becomes sticky, clogged, and hard. The same thing happens inside your arteries. They become narrow and stiff, a process doctors call atherosclerosis. And here's the frightening part. The heart, which depends on clear blood flow, starts to struggle quietly. You may not feel pain because diabetes also damages the nerves that would normally warn you something is wrong. That's why doctors often call it a silent threat. It hides until the damage is serious. Many seniors never notice the early warnings. A little fatigue, shortness of breath while walking, or swelling in the ankles can be brushed off as just getting old. But according to Mayo Clinic, these are early signs of heart disease linked to diabetes. In fact, one study published in the journal Circulation found that more than half of older adults with diabetes had signs of heart damage even before they felt any pain. Let me give you a real scenario. A 67-year-old man in Ohio. He has diabetes, takes his pills, and checks his sugar occasionally. He feels fine. But inside, his arteries are slowly clogging. One morning, while gardening, he feels short of breath. He blames it on being out of shape. Weeks later, he collapses from a heart attack. His family is shocked because he looked healthy. That's how diabetes works. It doesn't always show big warning signs. It moves slowly, quietly, until one day the damage is too great. The CDC points out that aging naturally weakens the body's ability to regulate blood sugar and repair blood vessels. As we age, our blood vessels naturally lose flexibility. Seniors often face other health conditions like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or kidney issues. Now add diabetes into the mix. It's like carrying 3 heavy weights on your shoulders at once. That's why a senior with diabetes has nearly double the risk of heart disease compared to someone without diabetes. And here's something important. If you're a caregiver to an older parent or loved one, this risk is not just numbers on paper. It means watching closely for signs that others might ignore. Here's the tricky part. Seniors with diabetes often don't experience the classic chest pain before a heart attack. Instead, the signs are quiet and often mistaken for something else. Feeling unusually tired after daily tasks, swelling in the ankles or feet, shortness of breath even while resting, indigestion or a heartburn-like discomfort. Take this example. A 64-year-old woman in Texas thought her chest tightness in the evenings was just gas. When she finally went to the doctor, they discovered her arteries were severely blocked. This is why seniors and caregivers must treat even small symptoms seriously. What looks harmless could be the first sign of heart trouble. Another case, a retired teacher in Florida. She was caring for her husband and ignored her own health. She often felt tired but assumed it was just old age. One day, her daughter noticed she was out of breath simply walking from the kitchen to the living room. That observation may have saved her life. Doctors found early heart failure linked to long-term diabetes. This shows how vital caregivers are. Sometimes seniors brush things off, but family members can spot changes sooner. If you're caring for someone, never ignore small shifts in energy, mood, or breathing. Diabetes sets off a dangerous chain reaction. High sugar damages blood vessels. Damaged vessels raise blood pressure. High blood pressure puts stress on the heart. A weak heart struggles to pump, which then raises blood sugar further. It becomes a vicious cycle, one problem feeding another until the heart reaches its breaking point. This is why researchers often say, if you have diabetes, your risk of heart disease is already as high as someone who has survived a heart attack before. Now let's talk about the good news. How you can protect yourself if you're living with diabetes after 60. Researchers at Harvard Health and the American Heart Association agree that with the right steps, seniors can cut their risk of heart problems almost in half. Let me break it down into 7 clear actions you can start today. 1. Keep your sugar steady. Think of your blood sugar like the fuel tank in a car. If it keeps overflowing, it damages the engine. That's what happens to your heart when sugar runs high. Doctors recommend checking your sugar regularly and keeping it in the safe range your doctor sets for you. Even small improvements help protect your heart. 2. Watch your blood pressure. High blood pressure is like water pressure in a pipe. Too much, and the pipe bursts. For seniors, that pipe is your artery. Keeping your pressure around 120/80, or whatever your doctor recommends, prevents silent stress on your heart. 3. Tame your cholesterol. Cholesterol is like grease that clogs a kitchen sink. Over time, it narrows the pipes. In your body, those pipes are arteries. Seniors with diabetes should ask their doctor to check cholesterol at least once a year. Simple swaps, like using olive oil instead of butter, can slowly unclog the sink. 4. Move your body daily. You don't need a gym or fancy equipment. Even a 20-minute walk inside the house or around the block keeps blood flowing, lowers sugar, and makes your heart stronger. Movement is like oiling a rusty hinge. It keeps everything working smoothly. 5. Eat smarter, not smaller. Diet isn't about starving. It's about choosing better fuel. Replace cookies or soda with fruit, nuts, or a piece of grilled fish. Instead of salty canned soup, try fresh vegetables. Every swap is like adding protection to your heart's armor. 6. Don't ignore small symptoms. Many seniors brush off fatigue, swollen feet, or shortness of breath as just old age. But those can be early signs of heart strain. Doctors from the Mayo Clinic say reporting symptoms early often prevents full-blown emergencies. Think of it like fixing a roof leak before it becomes a flood. 7. Sleep and stress control. Seniors often overlook rest, but poor sleep raises both sugar and blood pressure. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. Also, stress hormones raise sugar, so activities like gentle stretching, prayer, or even listening to calming music can lower stress and protect the heart. Diabetes after 60 doesn't just live in your blood sugar numbers. It hides in your heart, quietly causing damage that many don't notice until it's too late. But knowledge is your first shield. By watching closely for subtle signs and making small lifestyle changes, you can stop this silent attack. In my next research breakdown, we'll explore how untreated diabetes doesn't only affect the heart, but also silently pushes the kidneys toward failure. Stay with me.